Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I'm liking the new intro. We may change things up, go back and forth from time to time. But here today, we're going to be talking about a video from Moist Critical. And the reason is because this video was one of the biggest wastes of time that I've ever seen. So naturally, I want to waste more of your time by talking about it. This video is titled protecting you from yourself, which is a diatribe and a rant from Moist Critical about how you're expecting too much from these Sony State of Play events. Because apparently there were people in his audience that actually thought that there might be a worthwhile announcement, there might be like a world premiere or some exclusive piece of information in the 45-minute demonstration, which is not that unreasonable. If you're going to give 45 minutes of your time, and I mean, if somebody like Charlie and a lot of these other content creators are going to react to it, you would imagine that there would be something worth watching. But apparently, instead of lambasting Sony for putting on a pretty shitty performance and something that wasn't worth the time of the audience, he instead spends an inordinate amount of time shitting on gamers and saying you're just too dumb to realize that you shouldn't expect all that much. Which is just incredible to me. I don't like Moist Critical. I've made that abundantly clear. It's not that he's special in that way. I don't like a lot of these content creators because I think that they're phony. I think they're disingenuous. I think they're left-wing. I mean, let's be honest here. This is a guy that in a debate with Sneeko lost that debate when Sneeko was taking up the position that the age of consent should be abolished, because this guy believes and stated and then affirmed again that he believes that children as young as 9 should be able to start transitioning, whether that be surgery or taking medication to chemically castrate themselves. I think that he actually believes that. To be perfectly honest, I think that is something that he believes, which is why he lost his debate with Sneeko, which is something that I didn't even think was possible. And then tried to make an excuse that, I was unprepared for a debate. It's like, I've never gone into a debate, whether I was prepared or not, and accidentally agreed that children should be able to castrate themselves. But it's just crazy, right? I've never accidentally walked into an evil, irredeemable, indefensible position because I was too much of a gutless coward to just be honest and was too afraid of what people may say about me. But I do think it's interesting. This video is 10 minutes and it's him complaining about the fact that, your expectations are too high. You need to lower your expectations when you're watching this slop. And the thing is, no, you shouldn't lower your expectations. The standard should just be raised. These companies, if they're going to put out a 45-minute ad, there should be something in there that's worth your time. More so than just some, meager announcements. That's my take on it. Instead of trying to say, you're crazy for wanting Bloodborne 2, no, that should be the standard. If you're going to have an event like that, there should be something worth revealing. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a fan of these streamers and these content creators because I think that just everything about them rubs me the wrong way. You notice that a lot of these content creators, they'll talk about any scam or anything having to do with, somebody took $50 and they didn't put it right back. Like, these guys will do anything for content unless it actually matters. Not a word from these clowns about USAID, one of the biggest scandals that we've seen across the board, whether it's gaming or anything else. Not a single word about any of it. And yeah, that irritates the shit out of me. How the hell can you do videos talking about anything and everything within the gaming industry? Any sort of scam, any sort of malfeasance, doing videos about, Logan Paul, Crypto Zoo. $2 million is a pittance compared to some of these USAID scams that were being promoted by Democrats. But not a word. No one says anything except for like Asmongold. Asmongold, myself, and, Nux Taku. But none of these big time streamers, none of these people who are, in the inside of the, Twitch echo chamber. It's so incredible to me how phony, how disingenuous, how fake, how ridiculous, how regressive these people are.
I'd reach out right now and grab you by your ear because we need to have a serious conversation about your behavior. So come take a seat. It's time for a real talk. It's not the birds and the bees. It's not the poop and the peas. We need to talk about unrealistic expectations on every single event that even remotely revolves around video games. I watch party every big gaming press conference, so State of Play, Summer Games Fest, Game Awards, the whole kit and caboodle. And without fail, in every single one of these, people come in there expecting the world. They're expecting some things that I don't think even Jesus Christ could have possibly delivered. And I
don't know why the hell he would say that. People are wanting things Jesus Christ can't deliver. I mean, just a little blasphemy mixed in with the, hey, yeah, you want Bloodborne 2? Well, man, even Jesus Christ couldn't pull that off. This is just retarded garbage. It's just noise. And the thing is, what people are asking for has never really been all that outrageous. From what I saw, people aren't like, hey, are they going to announce the PlayStation 6? Oh, are they going to announce Grand Theft Auto 6 here? Grand Theft Auto 7? It's no, most of the stuff is pretty reasonable. Maybe there's going to be a trailer for an upcoming game that we're interested in. It's a lot of the stuff seems pretty reasonable. But then it doesn't happen, and then it's sort of oh, well, that sucks. I was looking forward to that as a possibility. And then it's you're at fault. It's your problem. It's dude, it's not even that big of a deal. People are disappointed. It wasn't a good performance.
I don't know what it's going to take to get it through your thick skull, but I'm going to do my best right now. Today was the PlayStation State of Play. Sony does this a few times a year, where they irregularly will have these events where they kind of just do a little update on what's coming to PlayStation and what to be excited about. It's not the fucking Super Bowl, it's not the Oscars, it's usually a pretty small scale, 45-minute, bite-sized appetizer just to feed you a little something to nibble on. And it'll usually be things that you're already aware exist. It'll be a new trailer for, big game coming out. Or hey, here's a little announcement from, Girth Yoakum's 2-person studio with this indie game he's making.
Boy, doesn't this just sound like it's worth the watch? He's downplaying this to, he is making this seem like absolute dog shit. I gotta tell you, when I tune into a Nintendo Direct, yeah, I do expect that there's going to be some kind of announcement there. And I think that's what people are expecting, that there's going to be some kind of announcement that's going to make it worth watching the 45 minutes. But if you listen to this asshole, it's come here, Papa's going to grab you by the ear and sit you down and tell you, no, there is no Christmas. There is no Easter Bunny. There is no Jesus. It's this guy is actually trying to lecture you on having your standards too high and that you should just simply accept the pig slop. I don't know. I don't know where these retards come up with this. You're sitting there and you're I could do a video on just about anything. Oh, I know. How about I make a video deriding gamers for having their standards too high? I understand that in some situations this could be true. In some situations. For example, with the Nintendo Direct, where Nintendo would say, hey, we're not mentioning anything about the sequel for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And people will be like, I demand more information about the sequel of Breath of the Wild, and there would be people who did that. Even though Nintendo would outright state that we're not doing that, there would be people who come in and say, you know, we demand this, and it wouldn't happen, and so they get upset. That is understandable. But that's not what Sony did. Sony put out a 45-minute presentation about upcoming games, ads, announcements, all that stuff. It was shit. It was terrible. People reacted that way. And this guy's going, no, it's not that it was shit. It was, yeah, there was shit, but your expectations are too high. Dude, that's pathetic. No, their expectations aren't too high. The company should do better to deliver them something that's worth watching.
All about how music can heal stab wounds. He's proud of it, so are we. Here it is, state of play. That kind of thing. And yet somehow, even knowing this, like, we've had fucking like 20 state of plays by this point, and somehow, like clockwork, every time these roll around, people go in there unironically expecting Bloodborne 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Half-Life 3, GTA 6 new trailer, Beyond Good and Evil 2, fucking Star Wars Return of Darth Yucky. Like, these crazy expectations, like, somehow they're thinking State of Play is gonna have a groundbreaking new piece of content that's gonna change everything. Like, they're announcing our nutsacks are getting a third testicle in the recent patch notes of the human evolution.
Yeah, crazy. So you go in there hoping that there's going to be an announcement that actually is worth something. And this guy is this absolute mongoloid is sitting there going, oh, that's ridiculous. What do you want, the moon? What do you want, a third testicle? It's like, no, how about a trailer or a world premiere that's worth sitting through 45 minutes of ads? If it's things that we already know, what the hell is the point? I understand some of that. I understand that if, there's, 30 minutes of stuff that we already know, fine. But there should be at least enough there that's new to make it worth it. And if that's not the current state of things, then it needs to change.
Master that 6 times till the cows come home. Like this with these crazy expectations. You're making yourself miserable. Like, you're hurting yourself. Like, come home. Come back to reality, please. I'm begging you. Now, since I'm just kind of like ranting and venting about nonsense, I want to talk about top comment is gay. Obviously, I'm well...
Oh boy. Top comment is gay.
Aware that there is a bot. Well, it's not one bot. I don't think there's just one top comment is gay bot who's leading some kind of crazy revolution in the YouTube comment section. It's just a network of bots that leave the same comment that all says top comment is gay. But I am aware. I see it on every video, not only on my videos, but on every other video on the platform. Almost without fail, the top comment is from a porn bot that says...
I've noticed this, actually. I've noticed that a lot of the responses are top comment is gay. It's interesting. I didn't know that was a bot thing. I just thought it was a meme. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. Not really that important, but it frustrated me. Sort of like he got frustrated. I got frustrated. About a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to these people. It's like, not a word about USAID, not a word about anything that actually matters. Just going to complain that gamers have expectations that are too high. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.